will they talk about? 'Cause we don't know.
Carnage.
Tony and Aaron in the podcast hut. Sit back and listen while they kick some butts.
That is a rubbish ending. Well, it's all that rhymes. Unbelievable. And now, here's Carnage with Tony and Aaron. Just chewing the fat.
That's what we're doing. We're just chewing the fat live on a Tuesday evening. It's myself, Tony James, and
Aaron Blanchard. How's it going?
The podcast in hand. So we are back in the podcast. It is another week. It's Carnage. We are live. We are back on air. Christopher David Jenkins. Good evening, gents. Julia Wumbush is back with us as well in the chat box. And do you know where they're chatting to us from?
Where?
You're an idiot. Where are they chatting to us from?
Oh, which one?
Oh, unbelievable. They are in the chat box on Spreaker.com or possibly on the Spreaker app.
There we go. I thought you meant location in the country or something.
Moron. Absolute moron. Well, Christopher David Jenkins, where's he from?
I believe he's up north in
He's Blackpool, right? We've got Wumbush. I keep calling her Wumbush. The original winner of the Carnagepod VIP badge that went out in the post today.
The very first winner.
The only problem is that it caused a bit of trouble. And I'm going to talk about it later on the show. Because thanks to me delivering her badge, there was an issue. Matt is with us. He's listening all the way from Germany.
Hello, Matt.
Evening, Matt. How are you, my friend? Liam is with us. He's from Worcester. Hello, my friend. Now people are telling us where they're from. How very exciting. Julia's very excited. Listen. Right, that is the bag of VIP club member #Carnagepod. It's bigger than the Blue Peter badge.
Sod the Blue Peter badge.
Wow, don't say that.
Carnage badge we want, isn't it?
Don't say that.
Carnage badge. You do look. It's a special group. The Carnage badge.
Yeah,
it's a special group.
It's like regal, isn't it?
It is indeed.
Oliver Scarth has joined us, a new listener over live on Spreaker, and he's listening all the way from Leeds.
All the way up there in Leeds.
Well, yeah, but that's a lot further if you're in Germany listening, like Matt is.
Yeah, I think
so. Listen, first of all, I want to say Martin's just joined us as well. Martin Lamont, he's listening from Scotland. We're like international, but in the UK.
We're all over the shop.
Anyway, listen, right? I want to thank everybody that listened to this show last week. It was our first live show of the new podcast Carnage, as you can hear live right now on Spreaker.com or over on the Spreaker app. But it's also uploaded over onto iTunes.
Yeah.
So right after the show, it will be on iTunes, on Carnage, which you can find. And we got into New and Noteworthy, and we've got to talk about this because if you're not in New and Noteworthy, you could do a podcast, but you might get like 100 listeners a week.
Yeah,
maybe
crazy,
a couple of hundred a week. If you get into New and Noteworthy, and this is why we really went crazy, we literally have thousands a day downloading the show.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
And it fluctuates in New and Noteworthy quite a lot, but we hit number 2 in the comedy New and Noteworthy. I don't know why, we're not bloody funny. Unbelievable.
It's pretty amazing, Tone, isn't it, to be fair? It's been a crazy week.
It's amazing. We've got people from everywhere. Leeds, for New Zealand is far, far away. That's Bruce is listening from New Zealand. We've got Arthur, bonjour, from France.
Look at this, we're international.
We've got Germany, France, New Zealand, Blackpool.
Scotland.
Oh, Carnage, and Gav from Funny Looking Pod, which is another great show on Friday nights here on Spreaker, has joined us. So people should go and follow him as well. Arthur's just said, bonjour de France. I didn't know you could do a in French.
Is it one F or more Fs in French?
Julia, will you stop saying Bristol? We know you're from Bristol because that's how you won your badge last week, by getting your Bristols out and writing #Carnagepod all over it. Hey, we've got a lot coming on this show this week, haven't we?
There's loads. Are we going to get through it all?
Can I just say, Gav, his show that I just talked about, Funny Looking Pod, right? Yeah. On Spreaker is live on Sunday.
On Sunday?
Yeah, so there you go. Arthur from France has said, "This is amazing."
Oh, brilliant.
That was my French accent.
Actual mimic of his voice as well.
Yes, he talks like this and he says "poo" a lot on Periscope.
Brilliant.
He says
got to
"poo." Periscope's a beautiful thing. We met a lot of beautiful people. Now, I made a terrible error earlier, Aaron. I did a surprise secret inbox on Twitter.
You did?
Just for this show. And throughout the day, my phone bleeped and bleeped and bleeped. And slowly it was taken over by imbeciles of Twitter.
Mine, I had to recharge mine.
You had to recharge your phone because it was so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Rubbish accent, Tony. Christopher, thanks for the support. Might be time for some funny, boys. Right, Bruce, thanks very much. We'd just like to block you from the chat box. Nikki is here, finally. Nikki is one of the people. It wasn't really Nikki. She just gets towed along. But I quite like Nikki, so we'll let her off. And am I being biased? Yes, I am. Yeah. Yes, and am I allowed to be biased? Yes, I am. And Gav actually says that ruined his day.
It did.
So we'd like officially just letting you all know, don't do it again.
Yeah, whatever.
That's official. All right. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we start the show. We'd like to thank you for all the likes and all the reviews. And somebody has won this week thanks to the reviews you put on iTunes. And we'll talk about that very soon. But first, we find out what Aaron is drinking this week, because it's time for his tipple. All right.
What's Aaron got to drink? What's Aaron got to drink? And now it's time for Aaron's tipple of the week. He calls it his weekly slurp. Let's find out what Aaron's got to drink.
Right, buddy, this week, it's come to my attention that I have got a bit of an alcohol problem.
Oh dear. Well, that's that. Listen, it's all right. You can talk to us about it on here. That's fine.
Well, I'm glad, because my problem is I can't really afford it at the moment.
What?
So, alcohol in general.
You just can't afford the booze.
So I can't afford it. So I've gone for something non-alcoholic tonight.
Oh.
And I've gone for old school, the old Jamaican ginger beer. Ice cold.
Do you know what? I know Gav from Funny Looking Pod loves his drink. So I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Tell us about your ginger beer. Who's making it? What brand is it?
It's the old Jamaican, probably the better one you can buy in the shops.
Okay, go on.
It's just really good. It's the one with the sugar in, because the one without sugar is just shit.
Yeah.
So it's just refreshing, ice cold, and keeps me happy, like. So
it keeps you happy, like.
Happy. So
how Welsh did you sound then? You're giving that away.
So ginger beer. There we go.
Dear me.
Cushy.
Gav is saying he loves a ginger beer. So what's your favourite thing to put in it?
I like a bit of whiskey in a ginger beer.
Now, you've got some news about this, haven't you? You've decided something that you're going to do for next week's show, and you're going to tell all of the people right here on the Carnage universe all about it.
I'm going to come up with a Carnage cocktail.
Oh, pop a rum in it, Gav says.
Pop a rum, yeah. I like
Liam's loving a bit of this as well. I'm a big lover of Tesco's Fiery ginger beer, Nikki says. Fiery. Well, sorry.
Yeah, so I'm going to come up with a cocktail. It's probably going to be ginger beer based, because it's one of my favourite things.
Yeah.
And it's going to be called the Carnage. So
Carnage the
cocktail.
Well, that is unbelievable.
As I'm a bit of a drinker, not in a bad way, as in like I'm a chef for a living, so it's not like a bad thing.
That's what you do.
So it's to do with food, and I'm going to come up with a Carnage cocktail just for the show, so everyone can try it at home.
God
bless you. A bit of Carnage in your mouth.
Oh, a bit of Carnage in your mouth, ladies and gentlemen. A bit of Carnage in your mouth. That's what we like to hear, a bit of Carnage. Let's give it up for Aaron Blanchard and his tipple of the week. That's all the studio. Come on out, everybody in the chat box as well. I've had a terrible time. You know, I was talking about the badge earlier, right?
Yeah, go on then.
Right, let me just say, we've got a howdy, sir, all the way from Dal Aria. Now, who are you? He's listening on his iPhone. I don't know who Dal is, wherever you come from. Julia is drinking water. It's good for you. Arthur from France drinks milk.
Nice.
Well, unbelievable. Hello, I think that says Dal or Day. I'm not sure. Anyway, thank you for joining in. Sorry I was late, was putting Chloe to bed. Well, you're here now, Nikki. That's all that matters. Listen, I had a terrible moment earlier on, and I was out delivering, and I pulled up into the church car park, which has got a little pathway that walks down to the post office, right? Okay, that's fine, going in there, and that was all right. So I went in there, literally posted the podcast hut special badge winner prize, came out, and the gate was locked.
Oh dear!
So
You're
I couldn't.
in the car park.
I was locked in the church car park, but there was a church sign saying the church is open. Please come in and visit. So now, what if someone had driven in there? This is my argument, and wanted to go and say a prayer, or go and have a kneel down for a little bit.
Yeah, or a kip or something.
Yeah. And what happens if they're then locked in?
They got to pray a bit longer, haven't they? I suppose.
That's ridiculous. Well, I was locked in. I did everything, right? And I phoned every number. And I went into the church. That's scary. An empty church on my own, just walking around.
Right.
It was horrible.
Like something out of Inspector Morse, was it?
Well, sort of, yeah. Just scared the hell out of me. So I'm walking around, knowing about, all very spooky, smelt of candles. And I came out and I went to, and eventually, there was another woman. I knocked on all the doors. No one had a spare key. And then Gav keeps saying in the chat box that he wants a badge. Gav, you never know. We've got a new competition tonight a little later on, and we'll let you know how you can win a badge. Someone tonight will win a badge if they've left a review. We'll tell you who that is later. So anyway, back to my story.
Right.
I ended up finding an old lady. She pulled up, and I said, "Are you part of the church?" She said, "Yes, I am. Yes." I said, "Well, have you got a key for this gate?" I usually have a key for the gate. I said, "Well, I've been locked in. I can't get out. I've come in. I mean, white lies are okay, aren't they?
Yeah, they're fine, little ones.
Yeah. Well, I said,
so.
I've come in. I've said a prayer, and as I've gone to leave, the gate was locked. And I do so much in the community with my charity work, and I've been asked to be I was making this up. I've been asked to be a guest judge at a fete that you're holding soon. Oh, really? I said, but I can't get out, and I've got to go, and my dog's not very well, and there was all these things I was saying, and eventually she found a key.
Amazing.
And she was panicking. I said, listen, if you can let me out, and we can forget about this, those letters in your hand, I'll take to the post office while you're unlocking. I'll even pay for your stamps and do the post for you. So I had to do that just to get out. And I said, on my way out, I said, the Lord Jesus has brought us together. She loved a bit of that. She loved it.
I can just see you getting all stressed and stuff.
Oh, it was doing my head in, to be honest.
Fluffing around.
It was really doing my head in. Honestly. Absolutely ridiculous. Hey, listen, I want to know, because I was talking about... hang on, I've just got someone in chat, but my mother once saved Aaron's life. Surely that qualifies me for a VIP badge.
Really?
Do you know diarrhea?
Who? No?
Diaria, diarrhea. They're listening on their iPhone. It's obviously someone you know. We need to know more about this.
Yeah, I'm a bit lost.
We need to know. Bruce from New Zealand has just said, were they pearly gates? No, they're bloody rusty old crappy ones that had a bolt across them. I couldn't get out. Oh, unbelievable. Anyway, listen, due to Periscope, which you know I'm on, Tony James Comedy on Periscope, and all these guys that are in the chat box now, most of them are on Periscope, right?
Right.
Now, Bruce, who's listening, got accused of sending some stuff to another Periscope listener from New Zealand, all the way to the UK through the post, right?
Right.
Now, part of his penance was that I would mention what he sent through the post.
Okay.
But it's been found out since that he didn't actually send the stuff. It was a big joke. So it didn't happen, and he's got away with it. Bruce, unbelievable. I thought it was real. So I thought, let's find out what's the weirdest thing. By the way, people wondering, it was pubes.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Smashing.
apparently he shaved his pubes off, put them in a letter, and sent them over to the UK. So what's the weirdest thing you've had in the post?
Right, me.
Fucking hell. Are you here? Wake up, son.
Yeah. I haven't had that. I've sent weirder stuff.
Right.
I've sent with some weird things. I've never received anything really, really weird.
Oh, you haven't?
Not stupidly weird, no.
Right.
I eat a lot of weird food. So I get like a box of ostrich and every so often.
Whoa. You get a box of ostrich through the post?
Yeah, a bit ostrich meat.
Who orders that?
Springbok or kangaroo, anything like that.
What are you doing with that?